How long had she been planning the cancer story? And were there earlier signs beyond the thyroid scare? My sister Brielle has always been the miracle baby. She was born after years of my parents believing they couldn't have children, and they treated her accordingly, like she personally hung every star in the sky. I came along 6 years later, the afterthought, the quiet one, the one who got told to stop causing drama whenever I pointed out that something wasn't adding up. And there was always something not adding up. Fake fainting spells the week I brought home a perfect report card. A dramatic thyroid scare that landed right in the middle of my graduation. I had learned to stay quiet about all of it because staying quiet was easier than the storm that followed when I didn't. Then she announced she had stage 3 lymphoma. No biopsy report, no shaved head. Just Instagram photos and oversized gray hoodies and captions about invisible battles. 2 days later, a GoFundMe went live with a $50,000 goal for experimental treatment her insurance supposedly wouldn't cover. Donations poured in. Strangers sent care packages. The comments were full of people calling her inspiration. When I didn't post about it or donate, Brielle made sure her followers knew. The response was swift. I was cruel. I was bitter. I was an attention-seeking little sister trying to tear down someone brave. I said nothing publicly, but I had already seen the bald cap hanging in her bedroom. I had already heard her rehearsing a crying video, take after take, until the tears came on cue. I stayed quiet, like I always had. Then my aunt sent me an invitation to her charity gala. We weren't close, so it caught me off guard. It wasn't until I arrived that I understood why I had been invited. Brielle was being honored with a bravery award. She stood at the podium in front of 200 people, children, families who had actually lost someone to cancer, survivors who had genuinely fought for their lives, and delivered a tearful speech thanking the angels who had kept her going. She dabbed at her eyes beneath a silk head wrap while the room leaned in. I stood off to the side and watched the latex seam of her bald cap peek out when she leaned in to hug a sponsor. I had already been keeping a mental list. Chemo fatigue. On the same day, she posted paddleboarding videos, hospital check-in dates that didn't line up with the timestamps on her brunch TikToks. I had the receipts. I just hadn't decided what to do with them yet. Then she walked over to pose with the mayor, and I made my decision. I stepped forward, close enough for the mic to catch my voice, and asked if she wanted to show everyone what was really underneath. She laughed nervously. I didn't. I walked up, pulled off her scarf, and peeled off the bald cap. The room erupted. Someone screamed. Her perfectly styled hair fell around her shoulders, and she stood completely frozen under 200 pairs of eyes. I told the room exactly what she had done. The fake diagnosis, the GoFundMe, the manufactured grief performed in front of people who were living the real version of it. My aunt turned to her and asked if it was true. Brielle laughed, that nervous hollow laugh she always uses when she has nothing left. The host took the plaque out of her hands. I walked out before the storm could find me. By the time I got home, the GoFundMe had been frozen. Dozens of people had already reported it. She built everything on a lie. I just removed the stage she was standing on. Some people only stop when someone finally stopped staying quiet. Subscribe. I stopped staying quiet.